Hello boys, my name is Yoshi. Welcome back. It's my blind playthrough of Xenoblade Chronicles 3 for Switch with the Japanese voices enabled, but it's kind of interesting and I'm still trying to do weird stuff. But anyway, before I do anything else, the last video we left off doing some more gem grinding. However, I'm probably going to shorten this grind a little bit more because I didn't know this, but apparently sometimes super bosses have unique drops that only they can do. But before I do that, I finally finished 10 of the... I finally finished the other two rank 10 gems off screen, so now I have only the clear set up to get in. However, there's an item that can only be gotten from a certain area called Royal Arden Horn, which does not drop from any other regular setup. And for that reason, and a couple of our setups, I'm actually going to use a slightly different setup this time. Also, I heavily recommend at least 3 healers here. In fact, I'm actually going to change a couple of settings just for this boss to make it a bit easier. I initially was going to do the super bosses a little bit later, but I found out that one is actually required for the gem grinding, so I think we're going to just make this into a separate video and then we'll do the other super bosses later. Overall though, it's a big pain in the butt and also breaks and topples your party with ease, so you're going to need a lot of levels to bring in. Thankfully, I already have 2 of the main healers. I just need now, however, I am going to make some changes. So I think instead of having Tyon as a medic gunner or something else, keeping the other characters on a similar vein, I'm still going to keep a similar setup. However, I am going to change Tyon into a Signifier. And then I'm going to change Miyabi out for Fiona. The reason why is because we need to be... This Eye is just a big pain in the butt and just likes to do a lot of damage. We need the buffs to be able to survive, otherwise we're literally going to die almost every time. We still, however, are going to use the same setup that we were using before, just not as much burst this time around. So, it's a little bit trickier of a fight, but other than that, not much is going to change. If anything, the only thing that is going to change is I'm going to replace a couple of abilities with other stuff, like AoE on some of our other abilities. We're going to have multi-blast, since this guy is a big pain in the butt and will likely be one of the hardest monsters to farm in the game. I recommend using at least one signifier for these kinds of tough battles, and typically you want Fiona as well, just because her buffs are really essential to survive. If you don't have this, it's going to be a big pain in the butt to deal with. Now, I am going to need a launcher, however, to make this setup work a bit more efficiently. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off Myopic Screen off of Mio, give her Soaring Tempest instead, and Noah's going to actually completely change his class. I honestly don't care which one it is, because we're probably just going to use his big super powered move at the start of the battle. Whatever. Full Metal Jaguar has some nice AoE. Let's go for that. Gonna remove Beautiful Crystals on everyone, since obviously that's not going to be very effective. We are, however, going to keep on Unlimited Sword, which will help us with boost effects. Other than that, though, Noah's going to not only be a regular attack setup, but is also going to be our major breaker, since we do not have a breaker otherwise. Although she technically has the setup with the break arts and the break boots. We are going to give Noah a break boot as well, I think, as an extra safety. So let's actually do accessories first before I forget. Now, this is actually a 95, so the hero's Vambrace is going to do nothing to it. So we'll just replace it with something better instead. I think I'm going to boost my dexterity here just to make it easier to actually land hits on this monster. And then my beautiful crystal is going to get replaced by, I think either I want either critical up or something else. Yeah, it can be kind of tricky to find what you're going for in these kinds of stuff. I guess we could have a boost damage dealt while outdoors, I guess, since, well, I think this takes place outdoors anyway, so I guess that would probably be a sensible thing to do. Otherwise, there really isn't much else to doing the extra effect setup. Oh, actually, I guess instead of putting on dexterity gloves, alright, this is kind of painful to scroll through. I'm gonna put smithy gloves instead, as this is a very high level monster, so it's likely going to evade quite a few attacks. Each time that does it, it'll boost our accuracy just to guarantee that we are hitting the opponent. And then from there, here we go. We're gonna put a second break boot on side, so we have the highest possible chance of breaking. And keep Mashojin on one of his spots just so he's able to break, but that, only one realistic person has to have Mashojin on their active spot, so I think I'm actually gonna take a risk and remove Shield Bass for that, so I can have a way to lower their defense. It's kind of hard to figure out what to put it on, though. Oh wait, this is the Kivzi art. Whoops, wrong one. That's right, I need the other one, not the other thing. And I have a little bit too many breaks here, so yeah, you're going to be Mangshojin instead, I guess. I should probably actually use this on someone with increasing the success rate of debuffs, but actually, you know what? I can just fix that problem right here. I'm gonna change one of our skills for something that improves. I think this is under attacker own generally. Yeah, here we go. Sappy Sappy. We'll put that on. That should increase our chances of actually applying a debuff. That way we actually get the effect off. And otherwise, she's going to remain Soul Hacker, of course, because we need at least one person on Soul Hacker in order to get the skill art. Other than that, same stuff is kind of used as before. The main thing is I'm putting some accuracy on Noah just to ensure that he can hit stuff. And then from there, we're just making sure that we don't have too damaging of attacks, so we don't mess too much around. I guess we'll put on a bit of agility, I guess, just to not eye to attacks, though if you ask me, I'm probably better off just going with dexterity, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I think I'm gonna actually throw a bit of dexterity on. It's hard to know what is the best. All I know is we can't really kill mobs to trigger the effect, so that kind of cool effect that we were using for a little cheat is pretty much gone now, and we have to use kind of a more normal setup. Alright, and I think, and of course we need our smash. Now that that's set up properly, we need our Mighty Beat and Glitter Stream, which we thankfully have both at the same time. Full Metal Jaguar automatically has a positional art, which is nice. And that's gonna be what I'm using, because this is a very dangerous monster. We will still have burst, it just won't be as great. We could technically use the other loop, but we might struggle to survive. I do have a saving of my art setup though, so yeah, I will have some safety, but Other than that, yes, we are going to have to fight a super boss. So now let's actually fight this guy and see what happens. I don't really know much to do other than the fact that we probably need at least a signifier because, well, without that, we're probably going to get screwed. Definite. Food guaranteed. So anyways, this guy is near one of the Furanis hulks, specifically the Tableland Furanis. And is in an area called Fornis Brabel Tailand? I can't even say this right. Whatever, I'm just gonna explore the area, and I think he's like a big giant Arden or something, which you probably, oh, okay, yeah, we're already in the right area. Now, obviously, we are still going to want the same material, but we do not need that, because we actually already have the Crumble Bar going from the previous battle, so thankfully that problem is dealt with for us. Now, the real problem is actually finding this guy. It can be kind of trolly to find. Not really a good way to know. Imagine falling from here. Yeah, right. We're not going to fall down, Fiona. You should be less worried about yourself and more focused on the setup. This feels kind of intimidating with a high-level actually being this close to the area. Considering all the monsters here around level 20, I'm kind of surprised that this place of all things has unique. Fortunately, it seems like we haven't explored up this area yet, so I guess we are going to walk around this zone first. I'll start by exploring the upper area, I think, and if I can't find anything up there, I guess I'll have to explore the cave next. Normally, I already jot down where all this exploring stuff is, so I can get it done right away. However, for some reason, I do not have that effect. But anyway, okay, well, we didn't get what we wanted, but there is a Ferris up here. So I guess there is a unique, but we are going to do that one later, because that will probably be in the next video. The one we are focusing on right now is in this area around Raybell Tableland. That's basically all I know about this. Other than that, I never actually did research of where he spawns, so we are going to have to kind of just the area until we find him. Though he's probably given he's a super boss, he's probably just gonna end up being in the middle of nowhere, since that's the thing that seems to happen with these super bosses, except for some, which will occasionally be in groups. But other than that, yeah. We do miss a couple of things up here. It's possible we didn't come up here because we were focused on the storyline, so that's probably why I missed this spot. If I had known there was a unique here, I probably would have already gotten it, but, well. It's more memorization, I guess, for later. Alright, so now I think we just go to this right side area. Let this ever shot. And just so you know, I am not cutting out any fails in this video. I'm showing you the full speed push of the fight. This will be the first boss, Uber boss, that you have to take out. Thankfully, it's one of the weakest, but it's also one of the more frustrating ones that can sometimes really just mess with you. Okay, I don't think that's the right spot to be going. Oh, okay, so the Rabbit Tail Land is near that area. So I am in the right own area, but it seems like it's not in the right spot. Let's go to Unruffled Nana first, then head over to the one spot. I think I might farm it near here. No, wait, no, this is way too far. This is the Ruby Flats. Okay, yeah, okay, we definitely have to be going this way. Is this any closer to the area, though? I'm just curious. Again, I have no idea where this is. I'm not somebody who studies, well, all of the battle sequences all the time, so I have no clue where this monster is. I'm kind of just looking around, hoping that it just shows its face. That's all I can hope for. I guess maybe we can make use of this zip line, maybe, but other than that, I don't really see much of a point. Yeah. Okay, well, this is technically still considered part of Rebel Tailland, so maybe I should keep going. Oh, okay, there's a good sign that we haven't been here yet. There's no dark spots in here yet, which means we haven't been in this deep area. It's likely that we left this out for a reason, too. And there is a climbable wall inside, so if we can get to that, we might be able to get sooner. This is why I mentioned that the playthrough might still be a blind playthrough. We know we are finding out where to go manually now, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we're out of the woods yet. There's still a lot of ways we can easily just completely mess up and... Okay. Well, that part's obviously going nowhere, so I'm actually just gonna go to this cave area and just go to the spot that I recently did not go before. Probably because there were some higher level monsters at this point at first. Well, let's quickly pick up those materials along the way. Otherwise, I think we're just gonna jump straight up to this higher point and go straight to the end here, and that should hopefully take us to where we need to be. Yeah, like right here should be fine. I'm surprised we just ignored this part of the zone. So I guess some of it is a little bit explained. Oh. Yeah, I know, Lance. That's a climbable wall. Give me a minute. I need to get some other stuff around here first. Go ahead and free this soldier husk. That's anyway. We'll continue going after that. Now, since this is a random character, I don't know what's going to happen, so I'm probably going to save Noah's immunity for a little bit later in the fight, personally. But I'll still probably end up using the talent art at least once. But anyways, it's kind of a similar setup that I've been doing before, where I have the smash in case I need to use it, but realistically, I could probably just get through using Lucky 7, and that's the idea. That's also another reason why I made Uni a hammer in the first place, so that she can have another option to break. That way, Noah could be focused more on damage. I made him a AoE hacker just because I feel like that's a little bit safer and better, and also Full Metal Juggler works really cool on certain characters, especially Noah and Uni, I guess, for that matter. They look so cool with those on. Anyway, this is likely going to be where the secret is, if we don't find it up anywhere else. By the way, if we have to climb up all the way again because of a miss, that would be very unfortunate, so let's not do that. Ooh, Shadow Mask, isn't that like, isn't that what I think it is? Let's quickly check. Oh yeah, it does boost damage to terrestrial wildlife. This is a terrestrial wildlife encounter, so if... just so you know, so having that will very heavily increase our damage. There's a Black Mask and the Shadow Mask, both of which contribute that effect. Ooh, what am I doing? Characters. Jeez, I cannot do menus properly, it seems. I think I'm gonna keep my regular setups, however, my attacking thing is going to instead be Black Shadow Mask, and I'm actually gonna put a copy on Uni as well. That should fix any damage issues, and we're just gonna keep that for the entire red. That's just to ensure both of them are at least doing some decent damage. And I'll set up my diamonds, I guess, as well, to ensure that we don't pull aggro, but that we're climbing all the way up to a little area in the middle of nowhere. What could possibly... Okay, well, that worked out. We at least got a secret area. Oh, speaking of which, one thing I probably should do as well. And one more. Let's make sure that whatever powered combo is reversed with dispersed blood loss on everyone other than the tanks. Because obviously they're going to die if they don't have that effect on. I'm going to keep you as you are, though, because generally you're not going to pull much fret. So I'm just going to hope that he doesn't pull fret. From there, hopefully Perilous Presence and Brimming Spirit will just help us out with tanking on both of our characters. Otherwise, they can keep whatever they want, so as long as they have some aggro boosting things, that'll ensure that they move as fast as possible. Otherwise, it can all remain the same as it is. But one other thing, I need to actually finish off my interlinks that I haven't completed stuff. And speaking of which, I am going to use this time to link a skill that I should have linked before. I actually already have a good attack boost, so I'm actually going to boost the critical rate instead. That can work really well. I feel like that would probably be the best. From here, we're going to complete this while... Nice. So now we're going to complete all of these. I'm gonna link dexterity actually for better accuracy. Cool. What am I missing on her? Oh, over here. There we go. Perfect. Alright, we're finishing all of our Oribos forms, finally. Just putting dexterity on these two should be fine enough. Okay, I think she already has dexterity. There we go. Just wanted to make sure I'm not missing anything. Fortunately, it seems like we might have forgotten where this character is, so I'm gonna have to look this up. Sorry, guys. Sorry to ruin your games, but I am very determined to find this unique monster, so let's look for it. Okay, I'm back. So I was actually looking at the right region, but the problem is... yeah, I completely went to the wrong area, apparently, so I'm gonna go around this area from Sephironia tree instead and walk around. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. Now we found him. Holy crap, that took way too long to find. Anyways, this guy is a big, bright, aching pain in the butt, and I think I might actually try. So I might actually switch Noah to Encourager, but forget. We're gonna stick with this setup. The main thing is we're going to need to make sure that he is not facing each other, because he has a breath attack that can pretty much instantly kill open, so we cannot let this happen. One advantage we do have is we can draw Lucky 7. Okay, it didn't work that time, but apparently that breath is able to instantly kill someone. So yeah, we're already dealing with one-shot attacks here. It's quite difficult, and he spams it quite a bit too, so it's not an easy fight by any means. He also starts off with a very high HP pool. Yeah. The idea is do not ever position yourself in the front. Just spam all the way in the back, not doing anything else. Also, not a good idea to use Smash this early on, since you can do a lot of stuff. But other than that, yeah, this game has a lot of health, so we're gonna be here for a while. And yes, I am purposely keeping the Great and the first combo on this. There's a good reason for this. This isn't just for the drops, too. We want to quell this guy's enraging factor, because if he gets a chance to use it, he's going to be one-shot people if they're unprepared. So you need to be able to deal with this. So if you see anybody randomly die, well, that's probably why. Play it a bit more safely. I think I'm gonna actually wait for a bit longer and win my first game slightly before using some other stuff. Other than that, though, you can already see the main reason why we have boosting the fires on this team. We literally need them to survive, otherwise we will not. And also, Lance is also a life safety as well, which is really, really good safety. Okay, that's fine. We did the smash. So we want to trigger this at some point, but then we want to also quell it as soon as possible. We're going to change this to a burst combo so there's no that. Okay, perfect. It's well in range. If he stays alive with that X active, he will do a lot of damage and could easily one-hit us. The good advantage of this fight, though, is thankfully he is lower level, so at least we have that advantage. But that's about all we get. In fact, if you're playing this guy at a lower level or on hard mode, he's quite brutal. He is no joke. Alright, so come to the end of this next chain, I'm going to wait for a break to appear. The moment a break appears, I'm going to this guy can be very frustrating, so let's see if we can get a break. If you will actually break properly. If it messes up by this point, then I think I'm just gonna, okay, I can't wait any longer. I'm just gonna chain. With these kind of bosses, you kind of want to just spam chain throughout the entire counter. This is basically how we're gonna kill all the super bosses. We're basically just gonna spam attacks into them non-stop. I'm gonna use so he gets better percent, but eventually we're gonna try using Yumi a bit more. We didn't get the break, so we don't have extra damage in this game, which is a little bit rough, but honestly, it's fine as long as we can keep going. We'll use this just to make sure everyone's fully healed. Then we'll start randomly throwing breaks. As this is a super boss, he is not easy to break at all, so expect a lot of misses. All super bosses have a heavy resist to break. This is why we have that specific setup from before with the hammer character. If I get a second DPS, I'm actually going to purposely use instead of Lance. Okay, we didn't get that. Instead we got Platinum Fight, so we're going to go right for that. That means we can actually go straight from the right. Shouldn't have a risk of going over 100%. We don't want to go over 100% this early, or that's going to mess us up. Let's try for another break. I think without any buffs, you will probably only have like a 10% chance or something to break them or something. It's retarded. And if you try too many times, I think they eventually become immune. Another reason why I wanted to have it at the start. Okay, alright. Now we're going to use Yumi as the breaker. There we go, okay. See, this is why we have the hammer class. This ensures that most of the time we're going to hit the break. Sometimes it will miss, but generally we will get it more consistent. Alright, so now that that's been done, we basically got the worst part of it out of the way, so now we should be able to smash and do massive damage. We're also going to have to break top of the lunch at the end, so we might try one more break just before the Oracle's art ends. Otherwise, we're going to start 200%. We definitely need to do this. Otherwise, it'll be really hard to get other characters back. If we get a shield, which we did, that would be amazing, because we can get another character back. We have 2 more characters to pick from. I'm going to intentionally pick Lance first, and that should hopefully manipulate Heal to come back. That way we get the strongest Orables form in the game, Noah. As many people remember, he is by far the strongest Orables form in this whole game. He's seriously incredibly busted, and pretty much completely trivializes a lot of the encounters. Anyway, we can use launch if we want, but we don't really need to. I think I'm actually going to do this instead. Ooh, nearly a Bravo there. That would have been really nice if we just got a Bravo there, but we did not. But that's fine, because we'll get a guaranteed reactivation of Noah, and from here we'll just use our remaining parts. Oh, by the way, it's a 50% chance. Oh, okay. We got very unlucky there. That meal actually shows up, but we didn't get meal to show up, so we have to do this. Since this monster is not likely to die, we actually kind of want to start towards the end, because otherwise we'll have so much aggro that could completely get us killed. That's the problem. Okay, well, now that we're in here, we're going to immediately use Fiona at the start. She has no buffs to Sarah, so she'll just play that. Now, one thing you can do is if you have 2 signifiers, or just a signifier Fiona, you can actually just continuously cast Power Charge if you get lucky enough to get Power Charge, because Fiona's ability actually immediately grants Power Charge to one person. So if you have the ability to pass it back, you can do so and keep this feat going definitely, which is a nice thing that I forgot to mention. Unfortunately, I did not use it properly, but anyways, that's fine. Other than that, not much to talk about. We're gonna heal up, and then we're gonna smash. Hopefully we get some good damage at least. Again, we don't need to launch here. But then again, if I did the other move, I would have just dazed. So maybe I should have launched just so that daze wouldn't have worked. And we're gonna smash it here. And look at that! About 50% of his health bar removed at once. By the way, I'm joking. This is actually one of the weaker of the Superbosses. But keep in mind that this is not going to be coming next video. In fact, to prove my point, I am going to do a farming session with this as well, and you'll see that this guy is not easy to farm. Obviously, we are killing him first, because 1, we want to guarantee the kill, and 2, we don't want to have to deal with him again. Anyways, now we get to see what he does. Ooh! We got a topple in there, so we were able to immediately smash him, but Noah's probably going to die now, so we're going to have to run away. See if we can get the burst pump block. Good. Okay, his rage is already gone. The problem is we have a lot of aggro now, and I'm probably going to die. This breath apparently has an instant death effect. I haven't actually seen it here, but it does have the chance to one-shot a non-enemy. That is a thing that you have to avoid. Thankfully, I already know about it, so of course I am doing my best to wait. And we're already up into another chain attack. Let's just go ahead and activate it. I kind of messed up the order, but it doesn't really matter. This is mostly just to skip his extra effect. Don't have a regular smash combo this time, but honestly, not really going for it this time. We can get a KO on him early on. We'll probably get a daze set up. Now I can see why we have a hammer person at the very start of each of these battles. It's super important Because, like, without an ogre, you're gonna struggle to get breaks at all. This is why we have to have one. It is basically 100% required. Without it, we are so screwed. We are so screwed, you won't even believe it. Okay, we kind of messed up our pattern here, so we're gonna have to do kind of a regular order. Bobby has a high block rate, so sure, we'll go Cena next. I'll just go for this attack, so get as much aggro on it. Initially. We'll use Cena to get ourselves back up right away. However, we are not going to be going for on combo this time. I think we're going to purposely do a Daisy first, because we still want materials from this guy. We need purple materials for it, of course. Alright, but anyways, yeah, I thought I would make the video a bit interesting, so I figured rather than showing a little loop on how to play and or grind the original setup, I thought I would take out a Superboss, because let's be honest, we haven't done much. We did not get Noah there, so we're just going to go with Tyon, because that's like the next best thing. We max that for our players, so doesn't really have anything else to use otherwise. Lance does have the buffed pass. Yeah, Tyon has a buffed pass. So, if we use share our own buffs now, that should pass over to Yona, who can then pass that buff back over to her, and assuming that works, we can do this indefinitely. And that would actually help out a lot if we do the smash move, because that guarantees that Noah will have a power charge, which significantly boosts the power of the attack. Probably also the main reason why I do so much damage. I don't think I even had power charge in that last match. If I did, I probably would have instantly killed. Okay, so since we use Khan, we'll have to go with the other ones. Of the ones I found out, Yumi's Oracle's form is slightly better, so I'm going with her instead. Did get Fiona back, so we're gonna have to just get a regular buff instead. So we're gonna actually use this time to just phase right now. I did mention I want to go for more of the safety net, so we will not be seen on this video, and instead we're going to be bursting somebody else a little bit later. We'll probably make that a priority first before we do this chain, so that way we can finish off a bit later. Let's do Super Storms, that just does the most damage out of the arts we use. And there's our overkill. Nice. So the battle's now over. We don't have to worry about that anymore. Early on in these kinds of battles, you're going to want to chain attack, because otherwise it will take way too long to kill, but honestly, that's fine. Okay, this one's really useful. This one will totally heal all of our allies, so that's nice. We have, I could have sworn we had at least 2 bursts. Oh yeah, that's right, we need his first match. In honest opinion, we probably should have just had Noah's big form, his Lucky 7 be the ultimate form, and then burst. I have burst on him as an alternative, but oh well, we'll use Xena's burst first, so that burst actually happens. That way we get extra materials, and don't really need to overkill him too much more, since, well, we basically already did all of our SB grinding, so we're just gonna let it go now. And that's the end. And as you can see, every time you kill one of these monsters for the first... Anytime you kill one of these super duper monsters for the first time, you get a special, unique grainstone that looks like this. It's completely different than any other monster. And they also have some of the best drops in the game. So let's actually take a look at those before we switch back to our original setup. So we got quite a few items just doing that. Now they only have 1 drop, unfortunately, in regular stuff. But they do have some other items. Ooh, we have Glistening Metal, which extends Days duration by 27%. This Tyrant Rain, which extends duration. That's really helpful for later. This one increases Vaughn's resistance, so nice survival item. Bright resistance. Ooh, this could be really useful for some battles later. We're gonna keep that in mind. Alright, as for farming it, once you've killed it once, don't worry too much. You can basically do this the same way as before. Now, I'm not going to show a full battle with it because we would probably be here for forever, but you kind of know the gist of this. We farm the monster using the Trouble Door setup. We have Noah at level 1 on purpose. Although, I think this time around, I will be manually controlling Noah in the setup rather than Uni. Just so that we can do that other stuff. And I think what I'm actually going to be doing is I'm actually just going to be running away from the battle half of the time and only moving to pick up the drops. That way, Noah at least gets some rank ups. By the way, I'm kind of joking. I'm not actually doing that. I'm going to use my same setup as before. The only difference is... yeah, I'm actually going to keep Noah at level 99 this time. In fact, I think even better, I'm going to control a different healer with Noah and actually have him controlled manually. That means I'm actually going to be just having him as like a permanent third healer. That should hopefully save us a little bit of stress. And to ensure we have a bit of safety, I am going to change some of his arts, so... okay, we already have this first one, so we'll do that. Anyways, we seem to have okay cooldowns, so the main thing I am going to do is, I'm going to, of course, give him a burst. We can give him a break, a single break. Well, actually, no, we're not going to give him any breaks at all. Uni's job is to do that, so we'll have the main break, and then, instead, we give him Resonant Drag and a Rill, so that we can, do the same thing, and we'll actually just straight up switch Tyon. Well, we keep Tyon on Metagunner, but switch you. Actually, no, wait. I want to keep Life Sage on for now. Life Sage is really important for survival, so I'm going to keep both of those on. I think, if anything, I'm going to take your skills off, and I'm going to replace... if anything, I'm going to make you a Signifier instead. It is a little bit of a change of setup, but I feel like we kind of need it. Alternatively, actually, we could just keep the Trouble Door setup like this, but instead replace Miyabi. You know what? I think we'll just keep this setup, but replace Miyabi with Fiona instead. So we'll actually just do that. And now we're just going to start spamming. The main difference this time around is we're going to... Apparently it gets stronger too as you go through it more often. So... but other than that, it's basically the same thing as before. Be very patient with this guy. There's not really a good way to phase him first. There's no really good setup, so you kind of have to just go with whatever. We could technically go with Miyabi and charge, but it's very risky. Every now and then I am doing these, or I'll like multi-blast it. Hopefully that should keep up our combos. It's actually the first time in a while that we've played a healer, but there's a good reason for this. We don't want anybody to be under level here. We're just gonna straight up lose if not. Other than that, though, it's basically all about survival. We want to try to survive as much as possible. Also, try to burst them as many times as possible. Just like the other ones, though, we are once again not going to be doing effects. Now, for some reason, you can drop other items as well, although that's mostly just multi-view gemstones. It doesn't really have a consequence of the battle. One thing I am going to keep on doing, though, is continuously spamming Or will, with events, cool down to get some defense ups on the arena. I could probably actually be using a better class here, but I prefer to just use this because it's safer. Other than that, you probably don't need 3 or 4 supports, but it's probably safer to do so. In fact, having this many supports is probably actually recommended because it just makes it significantly easier. You might not get a thirst because of it, but it's still okay because, like, the fight will last so long. I probably don't actually need that, but also, hindsight, I probably should have how many percentages for this. Now, the good news about the materials is, thankfully, this guy does not drop any other regular art of materials. That's like the nice thing. He doesn't actually drop any regular art of materials. Instead, he only ever drops some random gear pieces and his royal art of horns, which means it actually won't really take that long. In fact, if you do regular slow KO and then just chain later, once you're done, then it actually shouldn't really be that hard to win. So, I think we might actually end up doing this whole section. So, yeah, this might end up being a longer video, but it kind of makes sense. It's the very first Superboss we're fighting in the entire run. Normally we would save these until later, but because this is part of the gen grind, we're doing this now because we don't really have much of a choice. Share our buffs again. Now you can see why these buffs are so useful. Like, the fact that you can get whatever buff you want really makes this class busted. That will signify the significantly harder, and so we're going to need one for sure on every single battle. It's also the main reason why we mostly just for the extra survival. I can honestly not imagine trying to beat the game on hard mode without at least support, let alone it's really stupid. Now, obviously, these enemies take forever to get through, so I think to make it a bit, since we only need the purple materials, let's just get one more burst and just use it. This is a thing you can do, by the way. The reason why I killed them first is because I wanted to get the kill out of the way. Now I'm gonna give up. So that is a thing you can do. Like, if you straight up have all the materials you need for him, you can run away, and you'll still keep all the materials you get. Main thing we need to note is, did we get all 30 of the horns? Yep. See, actually, now that I think of it, that actually didn't take that long. That being said, this can be tough if you're playing on hard mode. If you are playing on hard mode, but are not locked onto it, like doing it as part of a challenge, I recommend changing the difficulty to easy mode. That will significantly make the battle much easier, and as long as you're 99, like me, it's not actually that difficult. It's just a bit of a learning curve, but really it's not actually that bad, so there we go. We got one of the first super bosses in the game out of the way, so my apologies if this was a longer video, but to be fair, super bosses are pretty exciting, although this guy was kind of pathetic now that I look at it. We kind of destroyed him, although to be fair, we had a pretty good setup. Having both Life Sage and Signifier we're definitely going to want in the other battles. Same for having the Ogre class, you kind of need that, otherwise you're not going to break. Anyways, sad to say, we are not going to be doing any more gem grinding, no. And that's because I'm going to end the episode right here. However, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like and enjoyed, comment, rate, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.